What's going on, guys?
Check your watch.
Man, it's been a minute. Hold on. Yo, you guys hear that? That sounds like a Zelda, like Zelda's on the boards or something with that little flute joint right there. Did you hear that? Oh, man. We're back, man. We're back. What's going on, guys? Episode 50. Episode 50. I have a clapping sound, but you know what? I'm going to give myself a round of applause because you know what? It's definitely a milestone for me. I think, it should have been, this should have been happened a long time ago. But you know what? We're here. So what's going on, everyone? This is episode 50 of the Mulberry podcast. I'm your host, Dallas Hooford, here in Knoxville, Tennessee. Knoxville, Tennessee. We're going to storm the Capitol. You know what I'm saying?
What happened to you?
I got maced.
You got maced.
My place.
And what happened? You were trying to go inside the
Yeah,
Capitol?
I made it like a foot inside, and they pushed me out, and they maced me.
What's your name? Where are you from?
My name is Elizabeth. I'm from Knoxville, Tennessee.
And why did you want to go in?
We're storming the Capitol. It's a revolution.
It's a revolution. I bet you. I probably a lot of people hate that video from Knoxville. But yeah, we're here in Knoxville, Tennessee, man. You know what? Shout out to the 209. Shout out to Atwater, California. That's where I'm from. That's where I'll always be from. Always represent my small community. But yeah, man, moved out here to Knoxville, Tennessee, back in November. So it's been a minute. I haven't done a podcast since I've been out here. I did a couple podcasts before I moved, and then I put them out while I was out here, but I have yet to do a podcast. This is my first podcast here, you know, new little setup, you know, somewhat some of the, you know, same stuff from the last from my last little setup, you know. Got the Mia Wallace, you know. I'm always gonna rep Mia Wallace, you know. If you guys if you guys are avid listeners, you know for sure that Mia Wallace is my girl. But yeah, out here. I guess a lot of people ask me like, man, what the hell are you doing out there? Like, why'd you move or whatever? To be honest, I was back home in Atwater. I was working, and the summer of 2020, I got my bachelor's degree. So I wasn't going to school anymore. I was just working. We were working a lot, you know, all through COVID. I was considered an essential worker. We were working like 12-hour days. You know what's funny is a lot of businesses stopped, but I was in the printing business. We printed like packaging labels, you know, stuff like that, like nutrition facts on like the back of products, things like that. Even a lot of cool labels actually. You know what? Well, I'm gonna get into that later. But so yeah, business actually took off. Specifically, like with Walmart, they have they started doing a lot of more online orders, and you would go and like pick them up. People would bring it out to you, so you didn't have to go inside. Well, there's like these little square labels with like an orange border around it. We printed those. Like I specifically printed those, and that's like all I would do. And Walmart basically gave my company that I worked for basically an open check. Like, whatever you guys can make, they were so behind. It was like, whatever you guys can make, we'll buy it. So, I mean, that's like a gold mine for any business. Like, wait, so we just keep printing this and we make as much as we can and you'll buy every single bit of it? They're like, yeah. So, that's pretty much what I was doing. We were working like crazy. So, man, I was doing the podcast still. I mean, I started this back in like 2019. I only got, this is my 50th episode. It's 2022, so you could see the definitely you know, I mean, part of it's inconsistency, but a lot of it's like a lot of things happen, man, like in everyone's lives, and it's hard to, you know, when I'm doing this on the side, to sometimes find time and even motivation. But anyway, I was doing this and I was just working, and I just felt, what's the word? I just felt like complacent. Felt pretty complacent with where I was at in my life. I wanted something new. I felt like I wanted like more, or at least not more necessarily, just new experiences. You know, Atwater's a small town. The 209's relatively small. It's like everyone knows everyone. I wanted to just do something new. That's really what all it was. So I have family out here. They moved out here a few years back. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to come out here and just see what it's all about. So I just came out here. No job. Just came out here, and I was going to figure it out, you know? So that's what I've been doing. It definitely hasn't been easy. It's been extremely difficult, but here we are, you know? And that was kind of part of why I haven't really put out a podcast. Was, man, I was just dealing with a lot of personal stuff. And it's hard to do stuff like this when you're not in like the right mindset, when you like don't really have like the self motivation. So, you know, I was looking for a job. I was trying to do that. Obviously I miss, you know, my family back home, all my friends. You know, I'm cool with everybody. So everyone back home, man, I miss everybody. I think about everybody a lot. So I was just dealing with that. I started working. I got a little night shift job, which honestly I'm tired of doing, because like that's what I was doing back home, and I know like it's honestly bad for my health to be working at night and sleeping, trying to find sleep during the day. It's not as bad here. I'm not working as much, but it's still kind of the same thing. And I really honestly started finding myself getting into this little routine where I just was stuck in that little rut for a while. I would tell myself, you know, every time I was at work, I'm just like, man, you know what? I need to go home and do a podcast. You know, I'd get all like motivated, right? And then I get home and I'm like, well, I'm going to take a nap first, and then I'll take a nap, and then I'll wake up, and like, you know, I'll set an alarm and I'll wake up, and I'm just like, nah, I'm going back to sleep, you know? And it's just like, it was a constant thing where I was so just comfortable with that, and just always putting it off, because I've been wanting to do this for, you know, a couple months, but I just kept putting it off. And then last night at work, I'm like, dude, you know what? Like, I'm gonna do it 100%. Like, I'm sick of not holding myself accountable. That's really what it's coming down to. Is I'm not holding myself accountable. I keep lying to myself. If you know, not lying to just you guys, but I'm lying to myself. I love doing this. I want to do it. So, I was like, okay, for sure. So I go to sleep. I get home. I take a nap. I wake up. I'm like, okay. You know, I cooked me up a little DiGiorno pizza. I'm like, I'm going to eat this pizza. I took a shower. As I was eating the pizza, I'm sitting there, and I'm like watching videos on my phone and stuff, and then I start getting sleepy. And I'm like, my body and mind immediately tell me, like, let's go to bed. Like, nah, we don't have to do this today. Like, we don't have to. Like, that's in my head. It's like, it's not mandatory. I mean, you know, we could just go to sleep, maybe try again tomorrow. But that's what I've been doing. I've been trying again tomorrow every day for the last 2 months. So I'm like, dude, no, man, no. So I had to, like, get up. I watched this, like, Joey Diaz, like, motivational speech, like, just get me hyped. Because I'm like, dude, I just need to get going. Because this stuff makes me happy, man. And I know for a fact that if I just start doing this, like, I'm going to keep doing it because it's a routine, and, you know, and we're creatures of habit. So the more I do this, the more I'm going to continue to do it. But man, I haven't done it in so long. I was like, dude, I don't even know how to do this anymore. Like, I'm nervous. I don't even want to do this. It's like, bro, no one's in here. Just me and my dog, who's like looking at me all psycho right now, like shaking. Cause he's like, what are you doing? Like, what is all this? Like, doesn't understand at all. But But yeah, so episode 50, man, I'm really glad to be doing this. If you're tuning in right now, man, and this is your first time, it'd mean a lot to me if you would subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, all that good stuff. I feel so weird saying that stuff, but I need to get used to saying that. I'm going to be doing a lot more solo podcasts, so bear with me. I'm going to try to get an hour in every time, but, we'll see what happens. What the hell's been going on in the world lately? There's a couple things I want to talk about. Man, I mean, I don't really even know what to really talk about with the whole Russia-Ukraine thing. I mean, that's going on right now. The one thing that sticks out to me that I feel like is I'm surprised about is Ukraine's low-key whipping that ass. And I'm just going to be honest. I really thought Russia was just going to come roll up in there and just start taking shit over. Ukraine's nah. We're not doing that. They're shooting down jets, helicopters, blowing up tanks. They're doing all that. And you know what? It's because it's not the Russian army. It's not the Russian military versus the Ukrainian military. It's the Russian military versus Ukraine. That's it. And I really hope I never know what that feels like, to be in my home country fighting for my people and my land and my country. I mean, that's probably one of the most honorable things that you could do, is stand your ground in the midst of a massive military and country that wants to occupy you, and you just no. That little Snake Island bit. And I don't even know how true this stuff is. I mean, a lot of it might be propaganda. I think the Ghost of Kiev, that fighter pilot ace who's supposedly taking down all these jets in some Top Gun dogfights, like he's the Ukrainian Maverick or something. I don't even think that's real. I think that was propaganda. But you know what? I'm going to just choose to believe that, because that is an amazing story, and that motivated me. I was wow, man. I'm over here, I'm scared to do a podcast, not even trying to talk in a mic. This dude's up there blowing up Russian fighter jets. Again, I think it was just propaganda, but that's some damn good propaganda. I don't care. And also, the one with, I saw a story, the Snake Island, where there's 13 Ukrainian border guys on this little small island, and a battleship pulls up, a Russian battleship. And they're yo, you guys need to disarm yourselves or something, or we're gonna blow you up. And the dude literally said on the radio, go fuck yourself. And then apparently the Russian battleship blew him up or something. I don't know how true that is, but again, the balls on that dude to tell a Russian battleship, go fuck yourself, just knowing that they just have their cannons pointed at him, their big guns pointed at him, and he's just I don't really care, man. This is my country. This is where I'm going to die, so I'm not going to let you have it. That's inspiring, man. And again, that's something that I don't ever want to experience. I don't think anyone here in this country wants to experience. I don't think anyone in this country really has the slightest idea of what that even potential threat even could feel like, because we're over here in our own world, with all of our first world issues, not really having to deal with none of that, or think about that happening. I don't even think that would ever happen. First of all, everyone and their mama has guns here, especially here in the South. Dude, people are strapped up. If you're a country and you decide you want to invade the United States, dude, good luck, man, because every city, town, village, it's a whole militia strapped up. I mean, if Russia can't even handle Ukraine, bro, there's no way. There's no way. It's not going to happen, dude. I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, good luck, man. They're going to have to do some cyber warfare. That's what China's doing with TikTok right now. They're taking us over with TikTok, which I have yet to download. I will never download that. I don't care. If I get to a point where for my brand purpose, I'll do a TikTok to make little TikToks and little snippets of the podcast or whatever. I'm gonna hire someone. They can do that. I'm not doing it. I refuse to download that app because I will sit there for 8 hours a day on there just going through videos. I mean, I do it on Instagram, and that's another thing. Instagram has TikToks. You know, you go in the little search tab, you click a video, and you could just scroll up and watch them all. I mean, that's the same thing. I do not need my own another app to do that. I got Instagram and Twitter, Mulberry Dreams. That's it. Like, I'm good with that, you know? So I'm not getting TikTok. I used to have Vine, and I mean, that was the same thing. TikTok's basically a Vine replacement. But I used to sit there for hours just wasting time. So I'm good off that. But yeah, man, prayers out to Ukraine. I hope they get that shit taken care of. Hopefully Russia's just like, all right, you know what? This was a really bad idea. Let's just stop. Because I don't even think Putin really has support like that in Russia. It's mainly him and the Kremlin or whatever they call that over there. Yeah, dude. But anyway, back to the United States stuff. I've been sports betting lately, you know. Sports, man. NBA. I've been betting on the NBA. I've been losing my ass. If I'm not gonna lie. Last week I won $1,000 though, on accident, and the reason I'm talking about this is because I accidentally won. It was Thursday, February 24th. I had bet on the Pistons to beat the Spurs, I believe, and I bet on the OKC OKC Thunder to beat the Suns. All right, just hear me out, dude. CP3's out. I know the Suns are stupid raw, but Chris Paul's out. So I was like, you know what? I got a business partner. We were talking. He's like, yeah, let's make that bet. I'm like, all right, cool. So I make the bet. Detroit beats the Spurs. I'm like, all right, cool. OKC is in the fourth quarter. OKC is down by 5 with 8 minutes to go. I'm on my way to work. I get to work, clock in, put my food away, go see what I got to do. I'm like, okay. I'm like, oh, let me check the score, right? Let me check the score. Like, what, you know? Dude, they lost by like 24 points. I'm like, what happened in the matter of 8 minutes? What happened? A total collapse. What happened? I was just like, man, there goes $100, man, you know? So I'm like, whatever. I don't check it. I checked the score. OKC lost. Dude, 2 nights ago. So that was on Thursday. So what? So Sunday. Yeah, Sunday night. I'm like, okay. There's some games on Monday. Let's take a look. I'm going to make another bet, okay? So I go on my FanDuel Sportsbook, and I'm looking at some games, and I look down like the bottom right, and it says I have $1,013 in my account, and I'm like, what the hell? So I click on it, and I'm like, wait a minute, and I go back to my recent bets, and I had won that bet, and I'm like, dude, what? OKC lost to the Suns. I accidentally bet for OKC's Friday game, which they played the Pacers, which I think went to overtime, and OKC ended up winning. So I won the bet. So I picked the Pistons to beat the Spurs on Thursday, and I meant to pick OKC and the Suns for Thursday, but I guess I scrolled down too far, and I was in Friday's games. So I picked OKC to beat the Pacers, and they won. So I won $1,000 on accident, and I was like, "Dude, let's go!" So, I mean, I can't be mad at that. That changed my whole mood for the week, man. That just set the tone, you know, like Sunday night, right? We're getting ready for bed for Monday, you know, start the week out. I go and I got $1,000 in my account. I'm like, bro, yes, you know. So I'm gonna try to be smart with that. I'm still down overall, but I'm gonna try to be smart with that and see what we can do with that, because I mean, that was just a little luck. Maybe that's just what I needed, you know. That's just what I needed. So that was exciting, man. Sports betting is so much fun. It's so addicting, which is not good. But man, if you love to watch sports, man, and then you put some money on it too, you become a fan real quick. You just be like, rooting for any team that you've got money on, and it's fun. I enjoy it. But yeah, I accidentally won, so I'm not mad about it. I would have been mad if it was the other way around. See, that's the thing. I try to think that, like, dude, you need to pay more attention and not make these mistakes, because let's say OKC beat the Suns. Like, I'd have been like, bro, hell yeah. Then I would have went and checked the money, and it wouldn't have been in there, and I'd have been like, dude, what? So, yeah, it's one of those things where it's cool, but let's not do that again. Let's make some calculated bets and actually win some shit. Act like we know what we're doing here, instead of just having $1,000 fall in my lap, which I'm not mad about, but it's like, how much do I need to lose before that happens again? I'm not trying to do that. So, yeah, dude. So speaking of sports, man, I went to, one cool thing about Knoxville is the location. Atlanta's 3 hours away, which is, I was from Atwater to LA, it's like 4 hours, which I would do that trip. I've done that trip so many times, and that's an easy drive, right? So I'm like, dude, 3 hours, dude, that's nothing. Atlanta's a massive hub, right? So I have yet to go. I do want to go. And then Cincinnati, Ohio, which is 2 states away. It's 2 states north. You got to drive all the way through Kentucky and then get to Ohio. It's 3 hours and 45 minutes away. So again, less than 4 hours away. I'm 2 states over. Like, come on, dude, So I actually went, if you guys followed me on my Instagram, you probably saw, I actually went to the Cincinnati Bengals Raiders game. I think it was a wild card weekend up in Cincinnati, dude. I didn't have any Bengals stuff at the time because I wanted the Bengals to win, but I had a Raider hat, and my grandpa's he's a Raiders fan. So, I was like, you know what? I invited my uncle, and we went. He's a Titans fan, which they got shit on. But, Tannehill's butt cheeks. I'm sorry. They ain't going to win with him. Anyway, Cowboys ain't going to win with Dak either, but that's a whole conversation that we can have. We can have it right now, actually. This is going to turn into an entire sports episode, I swear. That's all I do. But, man, let me tell you, first of all, Cincinnati is a beautiful city, and I definitely want to go back and explore more in the city. But the location of the stadium, you have the Bengals Stadium, and then you have the Cincinnati Reds, the MLB, their stadium's right there as well, right on the river. I think it's the Ohio River. I don't fuck if I know. Yeah, so it's right by the river, and then the other side's the city. And where we were sitting, the river was on the right, and the city, like the skyscrapers and everything, was right there. It just overlooking the stadium. It was beautiful, man. It was so cool. One notable thing, what was this, in January? It was absolutely freezing. It was so cold there. It wasn't raining. It was a clear skies. It was just so cold, dude. Like, you had to wear like thermals, snow gear, all types of stuff. It was freezing. My toes, I wore enough to get me through the game, but my toes and face and nose, like, I was frozen, man. And let me tell you something. Those people, those Bengals fans, they were out there at like 7 in the morning for that game, barbecuing, partying, drinking in that freezing ass, cold ass weather, dude. And what I got most out of that was these are some real fans. These are real sports fans, loyal to the Bengals, because they show up for their team. The Bengals haven't made the playoffs in forever, and they haven't won a playoff game or something like that since like 30 years or something insane. Their team has not been good forever. Those people show up in that weather to still support their team. Dude, I'm happy they made it to the Super Bowl. I want them to win so bad just because of that. Just because, like, those fans that sit there and freeze their ass off year in, year out still show up, Unlike the 49er fans who their team was mediocre. They can't even fill the stadium. It's pathetic. Okay? The Bay Area is far more populated than Cincinnati. But Cincinnati, they could fill their stadium every week. They can lose every game, and their stadium will be full of people cheering their team on. Okay? I mean, this is coming from, a little personal, because I hate the 49ers, but I'm just being honest, man. I don't have respect for that. I don't care. If you're a real fan, you're going to go watch your team play, whether they're good or not. So that's just me. So teams like that, who there's a long tradition there, and it's just like a tight-knit fan base, it seems like. And they're very respectful. Like, we were wearing Raiders gear. Trust me, I was getting hazed. And I'm sitting here like, bro, I'm really getting harassed right now for wearing this shit. I don't even like the Raiders. This game means nothing to me. And matter of fact, I want the Bengals to win. So it was just funny. But a couple guys were giving us a bunch of shit, dude. And then, like, after, they shook our hands and were like, hey, man, enjoy the game. Like, bro, that is the coolest thing ever. That's never happened to me. You go to a Raiders game and you wear the opposite, specifically in Oakland, and you wear, like, Chiefs gear or something like that. Like, bro, you're going to get beat up. Like, facts. Like, you might not even make it in the stadium. And if the Chiefs win and you're walking out, you better, like, run to the car. Or you're going to get beat up. Like, it just is what it is. Like, these motherfuckers will stab you. Okay? Like, but again, that's like Raiders culture, so that's like kind of lit, because I know, like, my brother and dad, they've been to Raiders games and, like, to watch the Cowboys play, but they'll wear, like, Raiders shit or, like, all black. Like, they're not, no, dude, I'm not getting beat up over the Dallas Cowboys, I tell you that much. I mean, that's just crazy. But I mean, congrats to the Bengals, congrats to the Rams, dude. Whatever. I don't really care about the Rams like that. So, that was one of those Super Bowls where it's like, man, honestly, I want the Bengals to win, but I'm not going to be upset if they don't. So it was kind of chill. It's cool. Honestly, at this point, dude, I'm just, like, waiting for baseball to start. And we're going to get into a long conversation probably about it, because baseball is my favorite sport. A lot of people listening probably like, bro, baseball is so boring. Like, we don't care. But you know whose fault that is? That's MLB's fault, and I'm going to tell you why right now, after I take a sip of this agua. So this is the issue, man. This is the issue I have. They're in a lockout right now over money. Owners don't want to pay players more. Players are like, dude, what's the word? Every year, like, wages or cost of living goes up. Now, look, I am in the middle of this. I see both sides. Okay, I'm with the players because, yes, cost of living does go up. So you want to be compensated. I've had this same conversation with my old boss when he's paying us because for the last, I don't know, 5 years in California, every single year, minimum wage has gone up 50 cents. Every single year, most of us at our job got less than 50 cents. And I used to tell my boss, I'm like, so you're telling me people who just start are going to eventually be making as much as me? And they're going to be mopping the floor, and I'm over here running a big-ass, press? And I'm like, dude, that's wrong, man. First of all, we're already underpaid. Secondly, minimum wage is going up faster than our raises. So what does that tell you? We're all going to be in the same boat eventually, which is pathetic. So why am I even busting my ass for? There's obviously no reward, right? Which is a very valid argument. I don't care who you are. That's a valid argument. You put the time in, you move up in the company, right? You expect to get compensated for your hard work and your, what you know how to do. That's what you get paid for. Not what you do, what you know how to do. Okay? And if you do it well, you deserve to get compensated accordingly, right? I used to argue that for me and my coworkers all the time. I was that dude at work. Okay, because companies don't like that, specifically because I'm correct. I am right. And it's hard to argue that. All they say is, well, we just can't do it. We just can't do it. That's their only thing they can say at that point. There's no reason, because they know it's like, okay, yes, you do deserve more. Yes, I do understand that minimum wage is going up faster than your guys' raises. Yes, I understand cost of living even goes up every year, and you guys are still getting paid less every year. And what are you going to say to that? You're just sitting there getting owned in your office like, that's, I don't know what to tell you. I can't. There's nothing we can do. But anyway, so that's kind of like where the players are. right? But again, and then again, the other side of it is like, dude, you guys get paid millions of dollars. Like, how sorry can I actually feel for a millionaire? How sorry can I actually feel for a millionaire? But again, it's the market, like, how much do you think the owners are making if they're making this much, And it's like, it's the market, So so what you're telling me, it's my fault they get paid millions because I watch the game, I come support you, right? I get it. It is a market. It's a capitalist society. That's how it works. Baseball is popular, to a sense. There's no salary cap. You can pay your players as much as you want. So the richest team, doesn't matter, football has a salary cap. You can't just pay every player. You can't buy your team. You have a certain amount of money. You have to work within that, which it keeps it, a little more balanced, unless, in MLB, it's really not. It's like, dude, a rich-ass owner can come in and just buy his team, which just like the Dodgers, just like my team. You buy your team, and everyone wants to bitch and complain. Well, the Dodgers, over $100 million team. Yeah, well, get your money up. Tell your owner, get his money up. I don't know what you want me to do. Okay, Giants fans, get your money up. You guys don't even pay your damn workers at the stadium. They were over there, going to go on strike because they haven't had a raise in 6 years, and you're over here bitching because the Dodgers got an over $100 million team. You don't even want to pay your workers. Don't come to me with your lack of money. Okay, I don't want to hear it. Okay, we get money over here in LA. I'm just telling you that. So you guys need to figure that out. That's a personal problem. Pay your people, man. That's how I feel. That's my argument. I don't care if I have a $200 million team. Okay, we got it like that. Or whatever. Get your money up. There's enough money in the world. You can go buy your team too. Make some moves. Figure it out. Dude, I lost track of what I was even saying right there. I just couldn't wait to go off right there. So they should be in spring training right now, and they're not. Now, they're probably not even going to start the season when they're supposed to start because they're still dealing with this crap. And it's ridiculous. They're on, what's today? Today is March 1st. Hey, man, it's March 1st. We got out of January and February. Let's go. Today's March 1st. February 28th, which is yesterday, which was Monday, they were supposed to come to a decision that was either going, if they were to decide and move forward with everything, the season would be able to start on time. Now, it's up in the air, and it's most likely not going to start on time, which pisses me off. And the MLB had so much momentum going for them. For the longest time, MLB had a hard time getting viewers, getting new fans as well, because it was a boring game. It was boring, right? And, I mean, we could talk about this all day. There's a lot of unwritten rules in MLB. There's a lot of things that go on in the MLB that has kept the game from progressing over time because it's America's pastime. It's a very traditional game. A lot of people, older people, look at it as such. For example, you got a guy like Fernando Tatis Jr., who plays for the Padres. If most people probably know who he is, you might even know who he is if you don't watch baseball. He's that type of guy. He's amazing. He's raw. He's good. He hits bombs. That's what he does. But he doesn't just hit bombs. He pimps bombs out. He hits the ball. He'll stare at it, bat flip, all this crazy shit. Got the chains. He just flexed out. He just flexed out on the whole team. Just shit on him, dude. Right? A lot of older people, they don't like that type of stuff. They don't like it. They're like, that's disrespectful. Well, no, that's not disrespectful. What's disrespectful is your pitcher just gave up a freaking bomb to lose a game. You should be mad at him. Don't be mad at Tatis. Because I hope he does it every time. I hope everyone hits a home run, they just pimp it out and just stare at it. Bat flip, do whatever. Stare at the other dugout. Do all that. Because that's what it's been bringing more people in. It's been making the game exciting, dude. I love it. Dodgers and Padres are in the same division. We play them all the time. It's obviously a nice little rivalry that's been built up because Padres got a lot better over the past few years. It's been so much fun, though, dude. I don't want to kick everyone's ass. I don't want it to be a boring, respectful game. I want to see some disrespect, right? That's what I want to see you. If you hit a bomb off, Walker Buehler, man, dude, pimp it out, right? So it's like he does a little backward skip every time he gets to third base. You know, like he runs towards third and then he like jumps back and then goes again. Like the whole crowd will boo him if he's like playing away. Dude, it's awesome. I love it, dude. But that's what makes the game exciting. I mean, a lot of the, you know, newcomers, new generation, a lot of dudes I know that didn't even watch baseball, they started tuning in a little more because it's been fun, man. And then you have lockouts like this that just abruptly stop the entire game and your entire momentum of what you've been doing and what baseball has been doing over the past few years. You just stop it over some money issues because you don't want to pay the players a little more. I mean, I doubt they're asking for something. They're not bending over back. Like, they're not asking you to bend over backwards as owners or, you know, whoever to make this shit right. It's just like, dude, come on, man. I mean, and you're not going to start the season, right? So you're not going to have a full season again. So then whoever wins is going to have a Mickey Mouse World Series, just like the Dodgers did during the COVID year when we only had like 60-something games. It was a Mickey Mouse World Series, which I don't even care. I don't want to hear it because any other team would have been happy with that. So I don't want to hear it. But we're going to have to deal with that shit again. I don't want to deal with that again. Okay? I just want to watch some damn baseball. And how many games can you miss before you guys, the owners, they start losing money? I mean, dude, tickets. There's 162 games in a season, dude. How much tickets do you sell every game, right? Food, concession, parking, all that. I mean, that's going to have to add up to the point where it's like, dude, we should have just agreed and then we would all been making money. You're just stopping the whole operation. And then you got places like in Arizona where they do spring training. Like I think the Dodgers go there, the White Sox go there. I think maybe even I don't know if the Diamondbacks maybe. There's a couple teams, and like that whole little economy in that area in Arizona is based around the spring training. Now you don't have that. Now that whole place is hurting amongst other places across the country where teams go for spring training, and you know there's hotels, there's restaurants, there's bars, people go. My dad goes every year with my mom. They go together. That's something they like to do. Now that's, you're not having that. Now you're hurting the economy elsewhere. It's like, dude, figure it out. That's all I'm saying. Just figure it out. It's always about money, bro. It's ridiculous. I'm tired of it. How much money do you possibly need? All these owners are so old. Like, it doesn't matter, bro. You're not going to die with your money. Dude, just let's play some baseball, man. You know, and it's not just about baseball. That's with everything. It's ridiculous. It's just like, maximize your top dollar. It's like, dude, it's like, come on, man. Let's just enjoy our lives. Watch some baseball. That's all I care about. I just needed to get that off. I've been thinking about it a long time. I've been wanting to have this conversation because I've just been following it for so long, and I'm upset. Okay? That's all. You know, Dallas Cowboys upset me every single year. I was sick of them. I'm just like, man, I just want my Dodgers back. I just want to watch my Dodgers. I had plans I still do, because hopefully the season at least starts sometime. I want to go to Cincinnati, man. I want to go to a Reds game. I want to go to the Reds game in like early June, sunny day. Give me a beer, some beautiful seats, and just watch some baseball, man. I mean, dude, that just gets me off. I mean, I don't know whatever gets you off, but what gets me off is a nice sunny day, an early spring game, watching some baseball, and just enjoying the hell out of it, right? That's what I want to do. I want to go to Atlanta. I want to go see the Braves Stadium. Do that. I mean, that's an amazing team. I want to go see that. I want to go do that. You know, even go down to Florida, go to the Rays game, go to the Marlins game, right? It's all right here. It's all around here. Go drive to D.C. It's like a 7-hour drive. I'll do it. I don't care. I'll do it. I'll drive 7 hours, go watch the Nationals game. Shit, I mean, it's all right here. It's here. I just want to go. I want to explore. I want it to revolve around baseball because that's what makes me happy. That's what I love. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of you money hoarders, man. Let's just play some baseball. Another thing about baseball. It's like, yo, man, we don't care about baseball like that, man. Damn. Let me just look it up to make sure because I'm going to have to explain this too for people who don't really get it. So this idea, I think it's coming. It says the universal DH. Okay? DH means designated hitter. All right, let me break it down for you for the baseball beginners. There are 30 teams. I don't know what this means. That's, whatever. 30 teams in MLB, okay? There's 2 leagues, the National League, the American League. There are 3 divisions divided up by 5 teams in each league, right? So there's 5. So there's the West, Central, and East. Okay? That's 5, 10, 15. So there's the NL West, NL Central, NL East, AL West, AL Central, AL East, okay? That's what it is. In the American League, they have what is known as a designated hitter, or a DH, okay? The designated hitter bats for the pitcher. The pitcher doesn't bat. If an American League team is playing a National League team at the National League team's home, the pitcher has to hit, because in the National League there is no DH. So the pitcher has to hit. All right? This is important. Most people don't care. I see both sides of it. Personally, I don't like it. I'm going to tell you why. As a manager for a baseball team, when you're doing things like, when it comes to the pitcher, you're doing things like watching pitch count. How is he feeling before the game? How many pitches do you want him to go? How many innings do you expect him to go? All that, right? Like, you're watching for the pitcher, things like that. I'm just talking about for pitcher's stand. They do a lot more, but I'm just talking about, like, when you're looking at the pitcher. You don't have to worry about him batting. He's not in the batting order. He's not in the batting lineup. He's not there. So you don't have to worry about that. In National League, you do have to worry about that as a manager. And this is very important, especially when you get to about the 6th, 7th, 8th inning. Let's just stick with the 6th and 7th inning. So you have a starting pitcher. He's pitching well. Let's say it's a 0-0 game, okay? Or a 1-0, 1-1. Let's just say 1-1, right? It's a tie game. It's going to be the 7th inning. Your pitcher still has a low pitch count. He's dealing. Maybe he gave up a bomb early in the game, but that's fine. He's been dealing all game. It's a 1-1. Okay, pitchers always bat 9th. They're the last batter. So let's say it's the 7th inning. You got the 7th, 8th, and 9th batters coming up. Okay, that means the pitcher is going to come up. Now it's getting down to where, okay, we need to get some runs because the game is coming to an end, right? But our pitcher's also pitching pretty well. I would like to have him go another inning. I would like that. But this is the decision a manager needs to make in this specific scenario. Your pitcher will go out in the next inning depending on how the first 2 batters do before he comes up. Now, if the first 2 batters strike out or pop out, fly out, they don't get on, there's 2 outs, the pitcher comes up, he's probably let him bat. He'll probably let him bat and he'll go out the next inning. But let's say the first 2 guys get on. Now there's 2 on with no outs. Manager has to make a decision. For the most part, pitchers are automatic outs. For the most part. I mean, there are some pitchers who can just rake, and we love that. And that's also why I don't want the DH rule, because I like pitchers who can rake. Now, I'm not going to see pitchers rake. It's not cool, man. So, okay, if the first 2 dudes were on and there's no outs, the pitcher's coming up, the manager has to make a decision. Do I pull him, get a pinch hitter in who can hit to hopefully drive some runs in to go ahead? If I do that, he can't pitch no more. So someone else has to come in. He's out of the game, right? Or do I let him try to like bunt a guy over, do all that? There's a lot of scenarios that a manager has to go through when the pitcher has to bat. It's important because, again, pitchers are most likely automatic out. So you don't want to give up a free out if you have guys in scoring position. You want to get those runs in because you want to win this game. And it's getting late in the game. Runs are very hard to come by. What do you do? Right? Now for me, you're like, dude, what's the big deal? Like, for me, that's like a chess game of like, okay, if this happens, we got to do this. If this happens, this is what we got to do. And a lot of it revolves around the pitching changes and substitutions, because once you come out of the game, you can't come back in baseball. You can't. So you have to be very calculated on who you pull, when you pull, and just the scenarios when they present themselves. They're different all the time, but that's just a simple one where, like, do we pull him to get a better hitter so our odds of getting runs in go up, or do we, if they don't get on, we can just let him bat and he can go back out and pitch one more inning? In the AL, they don't have to worry about that. You don't, as a manager. I'm sorry, your job's easier. I don't care. Hot take. Your job's easier. I'd rather be an AL manager than an NL manager because it's easier. Someone argue with me about that. I don't care. We can have a conversation. I genuinely want to know. Maybe I'm missing something. I don't know. But with the DH, I mean, that's easy, right? As a Dodgers fan, this is why I wouldn't mind a DH rule, because we have a stacked-ass lineup. We're stacked, okay? You got an older guy like A.J. Pollock, right? He can hit bombs, but he's slow, doesn't have that great of an arm. They usually throw him out in right field because they want him in the lineup. Now we got a DH. You can get a guy like that, just put him in DH. He don't have to go out. He just hits. That's what he's good for. That's what he's good at. He can just hit. Now we get a young guy out there in the outfield who can run, who can throw, who's hustling, right? He got something to prove. Put him out there, right? He can still hit. Yeah. So do that. Get a dude who you just rake. He just chills, eats seeds, slaps everyone on the ass, and hits bombs. I'm all for that, dude, I mean, home runs is the moneymaker. That's what sells. That's what sells in baseball. Home runs. That's what is exciting. That's what people like to see. That's why I'm all for when you hit a home run, man. Flip your bat, flex on them, let the chain rock out, do all that. I mean, that's what's going to bring more popularity to the sport that I love so much. But yeah, so I think the universal DH rule is going to come, and it is what it is, man. It's just gonna take it as it comes. But that's my gripe about it. But that's also, why I don't mind it. But I would rather see a more technical game. I enjoy technical games versus just home run derby games. And to be honest, I love a good pitching duel. I do. I was thinking about this the other day, and let me look this up. Okay, all right. Total MLB games played all time. As of the end of 2018, there have been 217,042 regular season MLB games. So there have been over 200,000 games since the beginning of baseball. Baseball started back in 1876 or something like that. Yeah. Since 1876, there has been over 200,000 games. All right? Most people hate pitching duels. Most people hate low-scoring games. Most people hate when, your average fan is like, this gets boring. Dude, no one's hitting the ball. This dude's throwing a no-hitter. That means that other team hasn't hit the ball. It's boring. No, that's a big deal, okay? When someone throws a no-hitter, specifically a perfect game. And the difference between a no-hitter and a perfect game is a perfect game is not one person reached first base. That's it. You could still throw a no-hitter and walk someone. You could still throw a no-hitter and one of your fielders gets an error and the runner makes it. You could still throw a no-hitter if you hit a batter. But a perfect game is no walks, no errors. You don't hit no one. Not one person gets to first base. Now let me show you something. I just froze in another dimension right there or something. Guess how many perfect games there have been in MLB history? Out of 200,000 games, over 200,000 games, how many perfect games do you think there have been? You would think there'd probably be a handful. No, there's only been 23. 23 perfect games in over 200,000 games. That's like how amazing that is. That's why I'm bringing it up, because that's how amazing that is. That's probably one of the most amazing things you could do in any sport, is throw a perfect game. There's only been 23 ever done, and that's why I respect when pitchers pitch so well, and when their ERA, which is earned runs average, I think, yeah, something like that. ERA, earned runs average. So every time you go out and pitch, what's your average runs that you give up? Okay. Yeah, so I just wanted to say that, man. Fuck. So I got a little sidetracked, man. I have like conversations in my head sometimes. I'm like, dude, like, we're doing something right now. Like, just think about that later, you know? But yeah, so there's only been 23 perfect games. That's like 0.0011 or something like that, like percent that happens. So I just love that. I just love baseball, man, and I love the technical side of it, which is, you know, why they're doing designated hitters, DH, because it puts more hitters in the game. It gives you a higher chance of people hitting home runs and higher scoring games, and that's what they want, because that's what's entertaining. That's the entertaining part about baseball for your average fan. They're catering to the average fan. That's what they're doing. But yeah, so that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about for baseball. I mean, that took up like damn near half the podcast. Dude, I talked all sports, didn't I? I talked about moving to Knoxville. And then I just talked sports. I mean, well, we covered some of the Ukraine, Russia stuff. But, dude, that's why I just love sports, man. That's all I do. I should just turn this. I don't want to turn into a sports podcast. It's so narrow. But some days we're just going to sit here and we're going to talk sports all day. And I don't, you know, most of the people who watch are probably people who watch sports. I probably lost, 90% of my people listening already, but that's all right, man. That's fine. I'm here talking about this because I love it. So hopefully my enthusiasm has kept you in the loop. But I'm really happy to be back. I made it. I'm coming up on an hour, and I'm very I'm proud of myself, man. I need to say that more. I just I feel like everyone should show themselves more appreciation. I know I don't do that enough. I'm my biggest critic. But yeah, I'm glad I made it this far. This was fun. I've been having fun. It's already almost been an hour, and I feel like I haven't really been talking all that much. And I look forward to doing this more often. Definitely gonna meet some new people out here. Try to get some new faces on. Talk about the town. Talk about Knoxville, Tennessee. So. Storm the Capitol. It's a revolution. It's a revolution out here in Knoxville, Tennessee, man. But I appreciate you guys. And I'm gonna be here more often. I'm gonna tell you that much. Shout out to Christian Rubikava, BavaTech, Custom Tea, BavaBlothing. I think it's BavaBlothing. Yes, sir. Shout out to that man. New merch coming soon, actually. I'm working on some new merch. I might even be working on an NFT. I don't know. Did I even say that out loud? I don't think you heard that. It's all good, man. This is the Mulberry Podcast, episode 50. This is a big milestone for me. So thank you for being a part of it. And again, if you're new to the channel, you're not subscribed, please subscribe to that thing, boy. I just made everyone's ears bleed. Subscribe to that thing. Wake up, Gunther. Huh? We up, man. Damn. All right, man. Mulberry Podcast. We'll see you guys.